Hey everyone, welcome to my new channel. I'm just here to relax, play some Minecraft, and share some interesting Reddit stories along the way. If you enjoy the chill vibe, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It really means a lot, especially when you're just starting out. Alright then, let's get into today's story. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and I've been dating my girlfriend Katie, who's 26, for about a year now. We don't live together, but she spends the night at my place pretty often, like 3 or 4 times a week. Things have been good. She's funny, smart, works hard, and she's got this soft spot for stray cats that I honestly find adorable. So last weekend, I had to go out of town for a work retreat. Katie offered to drop me off at the train station on Friday, and I left her the keys to my car. She's used it before, for errands, groceries, whatever. But when I got back Sunday night, something felt off. The gas tank was basically empty, like running on fumes. I checked the dashboard and realized she'd driven over 300 miles. That's not just around town. I asked her if she'd gone somewhere far. She paused, then said she'd visited her friend Becca, who lives a little outside the city. Problem is, Becca lives maybe 30 miles away. I know, we've been there together. So I pressed a bit, and eventually she admitted that she went to see an old college friend, a guy named Matt. Apparently, he was going through a rough time. She didn't tell me about it ahead of time, didn't mention it in a text, didn't bring it up after. She only admitted it once I asked. And yeah, she stayed the night. I'm not the jealous type, but driving that far, sleeping over and not saying a word about it, that's a pretty big omission. I asked why she didn't just tell me. She said, "I didn't think it was a big deal, and I figured you'd get weird about it." Which, wow, that made it worse. Instead of being honest, she just preemptively hid it because she assumed I'd freak out. I told her it wasn't even about the visit itself. It was about how she handled it, and the fact that she felt the need to leave it out, that says everything. She got defensive, said I was making drama, said she was just trying to be there for a friend, but let's be real. If the roles were reversed, if I drove her car hundreds of miles, stayed the night with some girl, and never mentioned it, she'd lose her mind. Oh no! This guy isn't overreacting, he's being measured, he's asking fair questions. But let's call it what it is. You don't accidentally forget a 300-mile trip that's not a minor oversight, that's avoiding the truth. Update 3 days later. Thanks to everyone who shared thoughts. I talked to Katie again, calmly. She said Matt had just gone through a breakup and needed someone to talk to. They used to be close in college, but had fallen out of touch. I asked if she would have told me at all if I hadn't noticed the mileage. She said, "Probably not." That stung. I asked her straight up if anything happened. She said no, that she slept on the couch. But honestly, the whole vibe felt off. She didn't really apologize. She was more concerned about smoothing it over. And then she said this, "If you don't trust me, maybe we're not meant to be together." And just like that, I became the bad guy for having doubts. Classic move. You question their actions, and they flip it back on. You make it feel like you're the unstable one. That line, "Maybe we're not meant to be," is pure deflection and notice. Still no apology, that's not by accident. Final update. 2 weeks later. We broke up. I sat with it for a few days, tried to see every angle. But I kept coming back to one thought. I can't be with someone who hides things to keep the peace. That's not peace, that's avoidance. I want honesty, even when it's messy. I want to be treated like a partner, not like a threat. When I told her how I felt, she didn't argue. She just nodded. No tears, no pushback. It felt like she'd already checked out, like that trip to Matt was her soft exit. Anyway, I'm moving on. I don't think she cheated. But I do think I was the only one still fully in this relationship. And now, I finally feel clear. Not every breakup has to be loud sometimes, it's just quiet moments where trust slowly slips away. And this guy? He made the right call. You deserve someone who tells the truth the first time. And that's the end of today's story. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. I've got a bunch more stories lined up, so if you liked this one, go ahead and hit that like button. And maybe subscribe too. It really helps me out. And make sure you don't miss the next one. Until then, take care of yourself, stay chill, and I'll see you in the next one.